We've just about reached the halfway point of the league volleyball schedule, and as of today, October 18th, Missouri State is at the top of the MVC standings with an 8-0 record. Here to talk more about what's happening in Springfield this season and of course across the Missouri Valley Conference, please welcome in Missouri State volleyball head coach and, quite honestly, probably one of the most vocal advocates of MVC volleyball, head coach Melissa Stokes. Coach, how are things going in Springfield?
Going good. Weather's nice outside, getting ready for practice, so life is good.
Well, I guess first of all, like I said, I got a lot of different things I want to ask you about, but I want to get your thoughts just on how the first half of league play went for you guys. Of course, there's some opponents you haven't seen yet, but as of today, as we're recording, 8-0. Just talk about what you've seen out of your team thus far, the 2017 season.
Well, I like the way that we're gritting out some wins. I mean, the very first conference weekend out on the road, we go 5 with Illinois State, we go 4 with Bradley. I didn't think that we played as well as we would have liked to entering conference season, but conference is always a different deal. It's a different animal. So I was really pleased with the way that we were able, to be tough. And I think we kind of started to hit our stride and started to work on some things that we really needed to get better at. And then I think that prepared us for the weekend at Drake and UNI that we just had this last weekend. And I thought those were 2 huge wins, with 3 teams being undefeated in conference, Drake playing as well as they are, being 18-4, best Drake team that I've seen in my time in the conference. And then obviously beating UNI at UNI. That people want to talk about all the win streaks that we're on. Well, to me, the best win streak that we're on is winning two years in a row at UNI. That just doesn't happen. So I thought that was a really big win, and very tough, grueling matches against 2 great opponents. So really proud of our team.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you specifically about those 2 matches. Let's start first with Drake. It seems that Coach Garrett McBroom, we knew that team had nowhere to go but up. It's been a while since they've qualified for the conference tournament, and now you said it, they've really made some strides. And they gave you guys a run for your money, of course, that match in Des Moines. What did you see out of that Drake team that's been different from the past?
Well, I think Drake's had talented teams. I mean, I think in 2010 and 11, they were very good and had all pistons firing. I thought one of the biggest things was just their mentality. They never gave up. So, maybe in the past, like we were up in the 4th set, 23-20, that might have been a match that the Bears win, 3-1. And, they never gave up and they kept coming at us. And of course, we ran out of subs and ended up with 2 defensive specialists in the front row. And I think still held off 7 set points, but it didn't matter. The fact is that they found a way to win that 4th set, 32-30. And to beat them in 5, we had to side out at 100% and be perfect in that 5th set. So I just thought it was a team that played with a lot of tenacity. They were talented in every position, and they just never gave up. They had a really good libero that dug a lot of balls, passed really well. 2 very good outside hitters, and had a setter doing a nice job, nice right side, 2 very good middles. So I thought not only were they just solid, but they were just very competitive. So I was very impressed, and I'm happy to see them do well. It's great for the conference. I mean, I want everybody in the Valley to do well, and so I'm excited to have Drake having the season that they are.
So you guys play a 5-set thriller in Des Moines, and you go a little bit across state to take on our top 25 team in Northern Iowa, who's still ranked this week. But you go into that match. They've won 4 matches against top 25 opponents of their own, and you guys go in there and you knock them off in their home court, as you mentioned earlier. Talk about what you saw in Northern Iowa and just how they've sort of been impressive this year as well.
Sure. We played 2 hours and 50 minutes against Drake, and then by the time you shower and you eat, you get on the bus. I mean, I think we got settled in between 1:30 in the morning. So that's always going to be a concern of a fatigue factor, how we're going to be the next day. So again, really proud of our team, the way that we opened up against UNI. Those first 2 sets were by 2 points and honestly could have gone either way. So we could have very easily been down 2-0. So, I love the mental toughness that our team showed in those first 2 sets. And then obviously, as I said to our team before, as a coach, I've been at UNI so many times, have been at 1-1 at the tie break, have been up 2-0 at the tie break, and the match is never over at, with UNI at UNI. So sure enough, I thought the Panthers came out and did exactly what I expected, as tough as they were in that 3rd set. Again, they got the momentum. There's 2,900 people there. great environment, and then for us to come back. I thought a big key in the fourth set, Lindsay Wright was just phenomenal the entire match. She didn't miss an entire serve. Not one serve the entire match, and that was huge for her. And she went on a really big serving run, I thought, when we were down 9-8 and came back and then had that little point spread there. We came up with some nice plays, and I thought that was a big difference that kind of separated us out, and then we were able to close that out in the fourth set. But one thing, Derek, I was really happy about is to see you and I not fall out of the top 25. I think that sent a message around the country. I had people texting me saying that they put us in the poll. But I was okay not to be in the top 25 poll. I thought teams 20 through 25 were all deserving to be in there. But more importantly, UNI deserves to be in the top 25. So I was really happy to not see them fall out. And I think that shows great respect for our conference around the country for what UNI has done.
One more team I want to ask you about is pretty unique. The Illinois State Redbirds start a little slow, but they've sort of gained some momentum as well. But unique in the fact that the new head coach of the Redbirds is a former player of yours. You guys went to Normal earlier this season in conference play. Lilly Johnson, talk about, she's had experience already being a head coach coming from SIUE. I talked to her early in the season, before the season started. She's so excited to be in the league and get into a competitive situation. But her opportunity at Illinois State's got to make you sort of feel proud as seeing a protege, I guess, as a player, former player of yours, but now she's got the opportunity coaching in a competitive league in the Valley.
Absolutely. I mean, Leah played here, and then she coached here, and then she's gone on and made her own career in her own right and has done a lot of really great things. So I'm super happy for her. And, when we match up with the Redbirds, we're playing the Redbirds. We're not playing Lilly Johnson. It's not Melissa Stokes versus Lilly Johnson. We can't think of it that way. I don't think of it that way, and I don't think she does either. It's just, we prepare our teams. When we get out to play, it's our teams that are battling. But I think Illinois State is very, very talented. I think Jalen Keene easily one of the top two middles in the conference, maybe the best middle in the conference. I mean, I've seen her be the best middle in the conference. I think they have a libero that's just outstanding. I think they've got two really good outside hitters. They got a great right side. They got a young freshman setter that's doing a nice job. So, player for player, they're loaded with talent. So they're a team that I mention every week on our region call. I talk about 4 teams in the Valley, and Illinois State's definitely one of them, and you can't count them out. And as you know, they're hosting the conference tournament. So, they're very, very capable. And I think that they've beaten some really good teams. They got Arizona early. They beat Dayton, who right now Dayton's winning the A-10. That's a very good win. They beat Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati's a little bit banged up, but I still think that's a great win. And then, they lose to Florida State by 2 points in the 5th set. Had they gotten that win, it might be a different season for them, but very, very talented. So I think this weekend is going to be a tough matchup for sure.
All right, final question for you. Getting back to your team, getting back to the Bears, it's been so impressive, and we've talked at length about what Lilly Johnson's been able to accomplish. But since the last time we talked, she's broken records, Missouri State, and the conference record for kills. Just been phenomenal. And this week she's recognized not only as the conference's player of the week, but national player of the week. Lindsay Wright, one of the best tandems in all of the country in terms of attacking. How do you put into words what she's done for you guys this year?
And I'll tell you what, Lilly was phenomenal in the last set against Drake, put the team on her back. I thought she was phenomenal at UNI. So two of the top teams in the conference. I mean, Lilly just elevated her game and her shot selection, and what she's able to pull out of her bag of tricks, I think, is just amazing. She's just a complete player from every aspect, from serving, passing, floor defense, and then obviously attacking. I mean, she's bringing it from every part on the floor. But Derek, you mentioned something I think that's important to say. Lilly's getting a ton of accolades, and we've seen weeks where Lindsay Wright's hitting well over 300, almost 400, over a block per set. And I don't want to overlook that performance because Lindsay Wright was unbelievable at UNI. We don't win that match with the way that she played, and so Aubrey Cheffy had an incredible match there. So the great thing about Lilly is she's the first one that gives the credit back to her teammates. And those wins were definitely a total team effort by everybody. And, that's what makes Lilly as good as she is, because she's very humble. and she gives the credit back to her teammates. And that's really, I think, what makes Lilly what she is. But I definitely want to give kudos to a lot of other players on our team as well.
Absolutely. A lot more volleyball still to be played. You guys are at home this weekend, and with the conference soccer championship down there, I'll probably be able to get to see you in person. You guys will be home that weekend as well, so I'm excited to see some volleyball in person. So good luck the rest of the way, and we'll definitely talk soon, Coach.
Hey, I appreciate it, and as always, go Valley.